feeling stressed, depressed, lonely, have to cope during pandemic. Lots of people asking me what to do during this time. This is the time where all the world are suffering in one way or the other. And now, doesn't matter where you live, this is our problem all around the world for everyone. This COVID-19 that's just messed up everything. And most of the time we are complaining about why did it happen? We don't know why it happened, but we cannot do anything with it. But one thing is sure, this will pass. This is just temporary. So I want to encourage all of you to think about a pandemic a little bit different way. Because what we feel and how we feel really, that's about our mindset. If we think about the pandemic is really bad and this messed up everything around us, and we are so lonely and we cannot go out to partying, and we had big goals and we cannot reach that goals anymore, then I have a good news for you. We can change how we think about that. If you want to go back just to 2019 or maybe 18, did you complain about anything? I'm sure if you had a work and you were super busy and your friends called you and said, hey, come out, we can go somewhere. And you said, no, I'm super busy, I have to do this, I have no time, sorry, but I can pass. Did you do that before? Or even maybe your spouse or somebody around you wanted to spend time with you and you just said, no, I don't have time. And what about friends who live in different countries? I'm in the same shoes. I always said, friends and family, I don't have time, I have lots of things to do, and sometimes we didn't call each other and we didn't even message to each other for weeks and weeks. And the complaint always was busyness. So, what's now? We complained when we are so busy and we had a job and we have lots of things to do, and now we are complaining because nothing to do, maybe sitting at home. Some of you, I'm sure, lost their job, and this is really, really sad. But if we thinking about the negative side, we won't be happier. Thinking negative won't solve the problem. But what can solve the problem? Mindset. Yes, some of you said, oh, it's easy to say, but it doesn't work. Did you try it? Because most of the time when we think about something, we have self-talk in our head and we think about something maybe bad, like, oh, I'm so alone. But what if you ask yourself, what is the solution? What could I do to feel more engaged with someone? Even when you are home, sometimes doesn't need to be like face to face or touching someone. Sometimes we just need to share our soul, share what is in ourselves, and we just want to connect people. Why is that? When sometimes you call your best friend or your family members, you have a connection. You are not there. Of course, it's really good when somebody can hug you, somebody can kiss you, but this won't happen all the time. And this time during the pandemic, yes, this is maybe a big pressure on all of us. But the difference is how we handle this situation. If you think about this will pass, maybe will take a little bit longer, maybe 1 more year, maybe in half a year, we don't know, but this will pass. So what can we do? We can change our mindset about it. What can we do? What is the solution? Ask yourself. If you feel lonely, you can ask, okay, how can I contact or be in connection with someone? Maybe you can find someone on Facebook, right? Maybe you had friends and you didn't have time to talk with that person. Or maybe you didn't have time with your spouse or with your kids, and now you have lots of times. So you see, we can complain about, oh, we have now, oh, the kids are always there, or the spouse is always there. But just 2 years ago or 1 year ago, we complain about we don't have time with them. So now you can see this is about our mindset. We can change our mindset and think about what is good in this situation. Or how can I use this situation to my benefit? And there are lots of benefits during this pandemic. What happened to me also, like I started to attend online courses. Before I went to school and I tried to study something, but when a pandemic hit and I couldn't work really physically, then I decided to learn more because I wanted to improve my speaking skills, or I wanted to improve my English skills. So before I went to school for taking English class, but this closed and I couldn't go there anymore. So I decided to go and do some online classes. And I found a tons. There are thousands and thousands of different classes. Just think about, what didn't you have time for before? Most of the time we said, oh, I don't have time for workout. This is why I gain weight. I don't have time for myself. I cannot relax. I cannot make my hair. So yes, maybe you want to go to the hairdresser and maybe you cannot do it right now, but you can pamper yourself. You can do something. Just enjoy your time. If you have a bathtub, you can take a nice bath with candles. You can also do it with your spouse. That can be a romantic evening. There are lots of opportunities during this time. Just think about the complaints you make 1 year ago. You didn't have time for maybe studying something. What about your job? Maybe you hated your job and maybe you lost it right now. So what would you like to do after the pandemic? Because we don't know when everything goes back to normal. That can be a couple of months, maybe another year or two. Hopefully not two, but still we can do something. And the good thing is, when you are at home, you can brainstorm, like, okay, what is the thing I can maybe make money? And this time is really important because every time when something happened to us, that's will make us stronger. And this situation is prep me and prep you for something that comes. Every time when something bad happen, and now is globally, that means something will change. And now, as you see, everything changed, and now lots of teachings and classes are not in a school anymore. You can learn anything online. Every skills. Do you have a skill? Do you have something you could teach to someone? Maybe you would say, no, I don't have anything. But think again. Because not long ago, that's amazing, somebody in one group, I'm a Christian and that was a Christian group, and somebody asked, oh, is there someone who could help me? I'm a new wife and okay, I know how to do some homework at home and do like ironing, but I'm not exactly sure and not so good with cooking. And she asked people if someone there out there to help her, and she is willing to pay. So even just like housework, like something what is maybe so natural to you, maybe cooking, maybe baking, ironing, or maybe do some art, maybe you are good with something, maybe you are good to teach your own kids. So there are lots of opportunities. Just check what you can do, and maybe you can do an online class and you can put it on the internet, and maybe you don't charge that much, but you know that will be a passive income or over time. But you can do something. You can start whatever you want to. So you can think, how can I make money? Think about like Amazon selling something. Maybe you can clean the house or your rooms, organizing. So this is amazing opportunity to do something what you didn't have time before. The teaching is really good, and also learning a lot. You can learn whatever you want to. You can learn new skills. Maybe you hate your job and you always wanted to change, but you're scared to quit. But now you had to quit, or maybe they fired you and you have nothing to do. What can you do? You can improve your skills. You can learn new skills. Maybe you always wanted to write a book, but you didn't have a time. So you can start writing. Just think about a solution, not the problem. If you think about the negative things, why the pandemic is bad, you will feel so bad. And when you get up early in the morning or whatever, maybe you don't want to get up at all because you are in depression, you can change your mindset and say, okay, what can I do during this time? Because this time is temporary and this will pass. So if I want to do something for myself or learn something, this is the best time to do. I signed up for many classes and I'm so grateful for this time. I don't say I wish the pandemic come again or just stay here longer, but honestly, this was the best year. 2020 was the best year for me because this opened my eyes up for different possibilities. And this can do with you too. If you feel lonely, what can you do? You can talk to your friends during or through Skype or Zoom. You can be in connection with someone so easily. So it's not same as 20 or 30 years ago when you couldn't really talk to someone, just like pick up the phone. But now you can do like video calling. Like this person is already there. In my life, when I left England, I moved here, and because I'm married to an American man, and during my paperwork, I couldn't travel. I had friends in Hungary and in England, and I didn't have anyone here. And when finally I decided to, okay, I shouldn't cry about I don't have friends, I have to go out and find friends. And I find different clubs and groups, like meetup groups here in the United States. And I decided to go out, and that was a great time. But the pandemic hit, and I couldn't go out anymore. So what can I do? We can contact people on Facebook, in Facebook groups, and I can help them. There are lots of people who needs help, and maybe you need help. And if you go in different groups, maybe you can find some help too. So you have opportunity, a lot of opportunity. So we don't need to feel lonely. We can reach out. I'm sure there are lots of people who feel the same way as you do, and they would be happy to be in connection with you. So just try it out. Ask yourself, what is the solution? Because this will pass. If you never had a time for yourself, or you didn't have time for workout, and you always said, no, I'm too tired, I was so busy during the work, or there are the kids, I don't have time. Now you have time for it. So you can do some exercise, you can do workouts at home, or you can go for a walk. If you have a car, you can go somewhere in a park or to the seaside. Doesn't matter where you go, but you can do something. The pandemic doesn't mean you have to stuck at home and you can't do anything. You can do. Yes, maybe you have to wear the mask, but this is also a mindset, because I worked with dogs for 20 years and I always wore a mask, minimum 8 and 9 hours a day, and I didn't take it off, only when I ate and drink. So if you have a different mindset about the mask, you can think about, okay, this will keep me safe, or this will keep safe other people. Because maybe we don't worry about we get the COVID, but what about the old people or the sick people around us? We are responsible for them too. So we cannot just neglect, because if we don't keep this rule like, okay, keep the mask on and we just take it off all the time, this pandemic will last longer. So this is your responsibility and my responsibility to keep that mask on, and the pandemic will pass faster. So this is what I wanted to share today. Just change your mindset about COVID and about the pandemic and to stay home. Because if you change your mindset, your life will change too. Find something you can do during this time, because when this is past and you will wish like, oh no, I didn't do anything what I wanted. You had lots of time, like a year now, because the pandemic started last year, maybe in February or so. And just look at the last 1 year. What did you do? Did you learn a new skill? Did you take time for the family or teach something to your kids or to someone? Did you do online class or maybe sell something? Maybe you can reorganize the whole house and maybe you will find something you can sell. So you can make money and you can make your house really beautiful. There are lots of opportunities and you can have a new goal. You can think about, okay, what can I do during this time? Maybe I have a couple more months. Can I learn a new skill? If yes, what kind of skill can I learn, or what kind of skill I need to learn to reach my goals? How you feel about the pandemic is absolutely up to you. You can take the power, the fear out of this all, like COVID-19, and you can say, yes, I am powerful, and doesn't matter if pandemic is around me, doesn't matter if I have to stay at home, I can do something to myself, I can do something to others. You can change the world even if you are in your room. Just change your mindset, change your life and your feeling about pandemic. Thank you for listening and see you in the next video. Bye everyone.